You cannot come and disturb people at 4 o'clock in the morning by shouting and screaming and playing music.
मरना है क्या?
Zero civic sense.
Indian tourists have a reputation, both at home and abroad. And this is not to paint every tourist with the same brush, but to think what is going on.
0 point में जहाँ पे लोग जाके enjoy करते हैं, वहाँ पे डाल दिया है.
What happens if locals start closing doors to tourists? The situation is getting that bad because there's rising backlash against tourist actions that clash with local culture and environment, highlighted by viral incidents in popular spots like Manali, Goa and Nainital. We're all used to seeing scribbled walls at heritage sites and littering. Then there's dancing, playing loud music, driving recklessly and making reels precariously, which are just some examples I can draw from viral videos of tourists acting out. India has a lot to offer: beaches, mountains, nature reserves and historical monuments. The 21 lakh crore rupees tourism sector creates crores of jobs. But as these viral clips rack up millions of views, one question looms. What exactly are tourists doing wrong? From cultural blunders to environmental destruction, what is transforming India's sought-after destinations into sites of conflict?
You need a responsible tourist who also talks about nature, talks about sustainability and ensures that he's not dirtying or the place which he's staying in.
It's like employing 1 in every 11 Indians, fueling everything from street vendors to airlines as domestic travelers flock to spots like Manali and Nainital in record numbers. India's tourism industry pumped 22 trillion rupees into the economy in 2025 alone, making up about 6.8% of the nation's total GDP and supporting nearly 48 million jobs, from hotel staff in Goa to guides at the Taj Mahal. This boom, up 22% from pre-pandemic levels, supercharges growth in smaller towns and creates livelihoods for millions.
I also propose a pilot scheme for upskilling 10,000 guides in 20 iconic tourist sites through a standardized, high-quality, 12-week training course in hybrid mode in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Management. We will develop ecologically sustainable mountain trails in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir.
But for this to work long term, visitors need to respect the valuable assets and avoid trashing places or being disrespectful towards local norms and rules. The onus is not just on visitors, of course. Things like infrastructure, local laws and administration, implementation and conservation also factor in. But for this report, I'm going to focus on civic sense. Civic sense is about putting the community's well-being first and consciously acting responsibly in shared public spaces, even if it's not the easiest thing for you personally. For example, you have an empty plastic bottle on you and you need to throw it, but you don't see a dustbin around. The easiest thing would be to toss it on the road and move on. But if you apply civic sense, you'll just keep the bottle with yourself until you either find a dustbin or you reach home and dispose of it properly. But there have been many incidents of tourists flouting rules and norms that sparked the zero civic sense conversation.
आपको देखा ना बस फेंकते हुए सामने है आपके सामने हो क्या आप उधर फेंक रहे हैं.
And this is not just about civic sense. There is personal threat as well. In February 2026, the Goa police started a hunt for domestic tourists who harassed foreign travelers, mostly women, for pictures. This came after several complaints and instances where domestic travelers either pressured foreign women for selfies or clicked their pictures without their permission. Some men even took videos of women swimming and circulated them. The police detained 2 men from Tamil Nadu who allegedly clicked pictures of other tourists without their consent and harassed them. The police grabbed the 2 people without a warrant, using the power they have under Section 170 of the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita. Threatening women's safety is not the only line tourists have crossed. Some have also endangered life. In Uttar Pradesh, 3 safari vehicles were fined 25,000 rupees each for off-path driving, noise, and endangering wildlife in January 2026. 2 of these vehicles trapped a tiger on a bridge by closing in on both sides. And in the third vehicle's case, tourists stepped down when they spotted a tiger. The National Tiger Conservation Authority guidelines say that visitors are not allowed to move on foot under any circumstances, even if the vehicle breaks down, unless an authorized person asks them to step out. The vehicles were barred from being registered from safaris after they flouted rules. In Himachal Pradesh, the Sissu Gram Panchayat in Lahaul Spiti district ordered a ban on tourists for 40 days from 20th January to 28th February. This was done to ensure a peaceful spiritual environment during the Tibetan New Year and the Halda festival, which celebrates the victory of light over darkness. Around this time, videos of tourists dancing shirtless against the backdrop of snow-clad mountains in the state had gone viral. One of the viral videos also showed a policeman immediately issuing a challan. The local authorities in Sissu stepped in after several complaints from the small mountain town about visitors acting out. We're talking loud music, public drinking, semi-nude dancing, indecent behavior, leaving alcohol bottles, and generally just not respecting local ways. Noise pollution, traffic, lack of civic sense, and littering were among the main reasons cited by the panchayat leaders for the 40-day ban. Take a look at this video of a pilgrimage site in Himachal, for instance. Penalties for littering differ across cities and states. While minor littering offences typically attract fines of 200 rupees to 500 rupees, serious, repeated or commercial violations can result in substantial fines, sometimes exceeding 25,000 rupees. And when it comes to tourist spots, littering fines can be stricter, like in Himachal, where tourists can be fined 1,500 rupees for littering and 10,000 rupees if they fail to carry a dustbin in their vehicles. Sikkim's population is about 7 lakh people, but it hosted more than 17 lakh visitors in 2025. All entering vehicles, especially tourist taxis, must carry mandatory garbage bags verified via spot inspections by traffic police and motor vehicle inspectors at border checkpoints. Non-compliance draws immediate 500 rupees to 5,000 rupees fines. States and countries do have policies to attract tourists, but how do they tackle public nuisance? I couldn't find a specific answer to this other than examples of action taken against tourists behaving out of line. The Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, for one, penalizes public nuisance with a fine of 1,000 rupees. It describes any act that causes common injury, danger, or annoyance to the public as nuisance. It also says that if a person continues to create nuisance even after a public servant tells them not to do so, they can be sent to jail for up to 6 months and penalized with a fine going up to 5,000 rupees or both. When it comes to tourism, nuisance in the form of playing loud music, dancing on streets, or making reels in dangerous spots often feature in zero civic sense debates. Among the states that have specifically tackled tourist nuisance are Goa, which has set an example by starting to nab those who click pictures without consent. In fact, offenders can be held in preventive custody for 24 hours and have their mobile phones seized. The Goa government also expanded the definition of nuisance in its Goa Tourist Places Protection and Maintenance Amendment Act of 2025. Among the different acts of nuisance described in the Act, these are some which can apply to tourists: consuming liquor in any space where consumption of liquor is not permitted, and breaking glass bottles; littering waste including used materials, empty bottles, in places other than the ones meant for dumping such waste; and driving unauthorized vehicles on beaches. And if anyone flouts these rules, they'll have to pay a fine of 5,000 rupees, which can go up to 1 lakh rupees. In Himachal, the police installed high-quality automatic number plate reader cameras in the Atal Tunnel after viral incidents involving tourists dancing to loud music or doing push-ups in the underpass. In 2021, the Uttarakhand police launched Operation Maryada to curb nuisance by tourists after several videos showed them smoking hookahs near the Ganga River in Haridwar. Within just a month of the operation launch, the police were reported to have arrested or fined thousands of people. I too once ran into someone who completely disregarded rules. I was in Ladakh, but I came across Himalayan marmots, which are rodents from the squirrel family found in high altitudes. Several boards in that area explicitly said tourists weren't allowed to feed marmots, which are used to local vegetation, and processed foods like biscuits can be harmful and even fatal for them. As the marmots hopped around from one burrow to another, a man in a suit with an entourage came up, tore a packet of biscuits and started feeding them. I pointed at the boards and said feeding them wasn't allowed, but he didn't care for my warnings. I then learned that he was an IAS officer. The experience was one of many that shaped my sensibilities as a traveler and toughened my resolve to follow the rules of any place I visit. Have any such experiences shaped the way you travel as well? Do let us know in the comments. I'm Hamna Hissam Siddiqui and I bring you the news of the week with Brut.